You don't do that, okay? Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Raise your ass! All right, I'm on the ground.
Lay down! Lay down!
Yes, sir.
Lay down!
Please
Get on the ground!
I think you tase you! Get on the ground!
Lay down!
One, now! I tase
All right, okay. All right. Break your shit.
Okay, dude, damn!
Put your hands on your back. Bitch, put your hands behind your back. Break.
Okay,
I'm gonna knock your ass.
Hey, you guys are really doing a lot right now.
Bro, lay down.
I'm just trying to go home.
Lay down.
Man, if you don't lay down.
Oh, I am on the ground.
Put your hands on your stomach.
I got
Please.
you. Afraid.
Okay. Stop! I'm not doing it.
Okay, that is a one piece of video from one body cam of what will be two altercations, we're told. We're going to play another angle of this for you right now. It comes from a police camera that's affixed to a street lamp. There's no audio here, but it may provide more context and a broader view of what we're looking at here. Here it is. All right, again, this video has no audio attached to it, but you can see the officers crowded around and apparently prone Mr. Nichols. Let me bring in NBC News correspondent Priscilla Thompson now. She's out with people who are protesting in Memphis. Priscilla, we expected that people would be very passionate, a lot of emotion attached to what we've seen so far. What are you seeing out there on the streets?
Certainly a lot of that, Lester. Right now we are on Interstate 55. Protesters have taken over both lanes of the interstate. You can see them there. They are chanting. They are calling the name of Tyre Nicols. They are calling for change. We have heard them say to disband Scorpion, that unit that was involved in all of this. And these folks are angry, and they haven't even watched the video. We were with them as that video was released while they were gathering to protest, and many of them told me they didn't need to see the video. They saw the photos and they saw the grief in the family's eyes, and so that is why they're out here tonight. And you can see there are 18-wheeler trucks that are backed up on both sides of the highway here as this protest has brought traffic to a standstill. And this is not a particularly large crowd. These are not the type of crowd that we saw during the protest over the murder of George Floyd, but still they're having an incredible impact here. And I will note something that you don't see. You don't see a large police presence here. The Memphis Police Department had said that they didn't want to overdo it. They knew that people would want to protest, and they wanted to give people an opportunity to do that, and it appears that they have done so. All I have seen so far is a release from the Memphis Police Department urging people to avoid this area, this part of I-55. But other than that, these protests have been able to voice their concerns and do so peacefully. There have not been any confrontations. The trucks that they have stood in front of and held their signs in front of have sat there and allowed them to express themselves because they're angry. Lester? All
right, Priscilla, thank you for that. A lot for all of us to absorb and try to put into some context. We showed you a moment ago the video from the pole cam, the affixed camera on a street light, if you will. There is more to that video, and again, as we go to show it to you, it is graphic, it is difficult to watch, but here it is. And no audio, I should point out, on this tape. All right, joining me now is NBC News legal analyst Danny Savalas. Danny, you can react certainly, as a person and as an attorney.
Troubling all around. I mean, the initial stop, what we're seeing now is that his flight was not a situation where he was fleeing as soon as the police turned on the lights. It appears that he was fleeing to avoid a further beating. You hear him saying over and over again words like, I'm doing what you want me to do. I'm lying down. And then they keep using force on him. And then you see from that poll cam, the abuse just escalate. And what we're going to see in the other videos in the coming days is the police standing around with their body cams on, talking about what happened, claiming, setting up their defense already, that he was going for a firearm. And nowhere in that video so far, I think, has anybody seen him going for a firearm, especially in that initial stop when he's pulled out of the car and immediately put on the ground. He doesn't prone out the way they want him, but he is seated on the ground. Normally,
certainly running from police is usually not a good idea. In this case, he appears to be running for his life.
Exactly right. So when the initial reports were it starts at one place, he flees to another place, that could mean a lot, Lester. It could mean that he was using force himself and then tried to escape. But that does not appear to be what's happening in that video. It appears that the police are using force on him. He is using none in return. And once they start pulling out the taser, he's trying to get away to stop the pain, to stop the abuse.
Just a few seconds, but how will this impact a trial? The fact this video will be everywhere, if not already.
Video is devastating for the defense. Also devastating for them is the way they stand around and appear to set up their defense when it's not apparently supported by the facts. Lots of problems here for the defendants.
Danny Savalas, thank you for being with us.